Good morning. So, daily tarot time. So, the first card out today is the Two of Swords. So, the Two of Swords is about, needing to make a decision about something, but we're refusing to see it, whether it's subconsciously or consciously. We're thinking that, if I just ignore it, it's going to go away, or it's going to solve on its own. But here is the situation. Behind is that water, so that represents our emotions, and the swords, of course, is our mental space. So it's using our emotions as well as our thoughts, so our mind and our heart space. We have to combine the two, and just realize, like, if we assume that something's just going to go away, a lot of times that's when that tower moment will come, because the universe will say, I'm telling you, I'm whispering into you with your intuition, your higher self, to come up with this answer, to be courageous enough to trust that intuition and go along with it, go make that decision. Because if you're letting it just fall to the wayside to solve on its own, something else is going to come in. Somebody else is going to make that decision for you, or it's going to come to this, like I said, tower moment where it's going to be more devastating. So a decision will be made, but it's like out of your control completely, and it could be something that's a little more extreme. Also, if you think about it too, that after the Two of Swords is the Three of Swords. So that's usually heartbreak. So, would you rather, heartbreak is bad anyway, but would you rather be kind of in control of your own heartbreak? Like, you make a decision that might hurt, like, I hate making that decision. I hate, like, telling someone no, or I hate moving away from something, but you're in control of it, where if you don't allow it, other people might be the one in control of that heartbreak, which will again be more extreme, right? So this is, saying, stop denying it. It's not going to go away. It's going to come to a conclusion, but it might be more devastating or out of your hands. So it's best just to make that decision. At least you have some control over the situation. After that, we have this Nine of Pentacles. So I feel like whatever this decision you have to make, or something that you have to face, is going to require you to be a little independent, be a little solo for a while. It's something that you're going to have to do on your own. Nobody else can tell us. That's what I'm saying. You can't just let it go and decide on its own. It has to be something that, it has to be with what you decide. So, and it might require you to be on your own a little bit in this situation, to stand firm in your decision, okay? Also, it might involve walking away from emotional disappointments. And again, that, even though that seems like, oh yeah, of course we're going to walk away from emotional disappointments, it can be hard, because a lot of times then we have that guilt, or we feel like we're hurting someone, or we're not loyal. But this is walking away from those, and leaving things behind, whether they are hurtful or painful, can still be hard. So this is walking away, because those cups are our emotions. He's walking away from those things that don't fulfill him emotionally anymore, right? And as you see, the moon, in the tarot card, the moon is something that's hidden. It's unknown. It's fearful, but he's still walking away because he doesn't know what to expect, and he's leaving the familiar behind, whether it was painful or not. He's still leaving that familiar behind and going out on his own. So that can be a little scary. And then finally, we have this Empress. The Empress is all about trusting our intuition, following that intuition. It's also our creativity and being fruitful and self-care. So this is a time of self-care, trusting your intuition, which may be guiding you towards walking away from emotional disappointment and making a decision here. So I feel like this is something that the spirit and the universe are telling you, that it's going to require some courage to walk away from things that aren't fulfilling you, and it might, be leaving things behind and causing you to be alone a little bit. And, also being alone, you have to look at it this way. Are you considering being alone lonely, or just alone? Because we have to be good in our alone time. That's when we learn the most, when we're on our own, when we're alone, working on ourselves, Because a lot of times when we're around people all the time, it's not helping us to grow within. So this is, having that independence. So it's time for a little self-care. It's time for trusting your intuition. And also with the creativity, being fruitful, a lot of times when we're all alone, like hence that COVID time. A lot of people started to being creative. They started cooking. They started making their own blogs, their channels, whatever they did. So, expanding. So this is saying it's time for some self-care and trusting your intuition. Whatever's calling you to walk away from something that's not fulfilling you anymore emotionally, it's time to make that decision. Stop denying it. Stop wearing that mask, that blindfold, and see it for what it is, because it's time for you to trust yourself and be independent on this. Work on that, be creative, trust your intuition. Okay, so that is your message for today. So whatever you got going on in that head of yours, like some kind of creative project or something you have been wanting to work on or do, it's time. The universe and spirit are telling you it is time. Don't doubt it anymore. It's time to make that decision. It's time to remove that blindfold and go for it. Okay, so that is your message today. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.